Yo, what is up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. I decided, you know what, I might as well look at how to be a better Moon Knight. Now, of course, I've gotten a lot of people, especially when I hit 100 subscribers, to tell me, hey, you're playing Moon Knight this way, you're playing Moon Knight that way. Well, let's really get it started.
So when you're tracking targets normally, it can feel like you're missing, and it's really difficult. This is why I've created this crosshair here. This crosshair is the perfect design for Moon Knight that I spent a lot of time perfecting. The inner crosshair is when you're shooting stationary targets or targets basically closer than 5 meters. Anything that's moving that's past 5 meters, you need to aim at the outer boundaries of the circle. If I focus on the circle, it will hit the player. And look at this, even though I'm aiming at these both targets here, even the one at the far distance, as long as I hit the outer circle, it will always hit the target. Even at a larger distance, it still works, as you can see here. Because as long as you aim for the outer circle, it will always hit targets. And if it doesn't, it means you're too far away, and you should probably be getting closer anyway. The next tip is extremely important as well. Take a look at what happens when we move as we're attacking. See how the blades have 3 lines. Each of those lines is hitting a different target, which is a bit of a problem if we're trying to do the most amount of damage. Instead of moving whilst we fire, we want to slow down our fire rate a little bit. Learn the rhythm of the attacks and click for each attack instead of holding down, and stop moving each time we attack. So our strafe should look like this. And suddenly, look at the difference. If we move, this is what an attack looks like. If we stay still for a split second first,
I get it.
the attack is pinpoint accurate, which will make a massive difference. Let me show you. This is me attacking Lunar Snow whilst moving without really caring. As you can see, not all hits are on target. However, if I stop purposely, every time I press the attack button, it's perfectly accurate.
Yo, okay, hold on. I'm gonna have to try that in the actual game, but I understand what he's fucking talking about.
For combos, we really only have 2 options, and they're really simple. A lot simpler than any other character's combos. It really is straightforward. We've got the 1v1 combo and then the group buster combo. The group buster is for doing as much damage as possible before your unk gets destroyed. And the 1v1 combo is for those that want to try and guarantee a kill against a 1v1 target. So the 1v1 combo, you first throw down your unk and then immediately primary attack, and then you can actually animation cancel before the primary attack has gone out with the secondary attack. So it looks like this. So you can do it really quickly to the point that your primary attack animation won't even finish before the secondary starts. And then you can immediately follow it again with another primary attack. Like that. So that is 2 primary attacks, a secondary attack, and a very short time span. And with some practice, it will look like this on a single target.
Yo,
really easy.
Wait a
now,
minute.
the trouble with this combo is, if the enemy destroys your unk, you're not going to get as much damage out. You're only going to potentially do a basic attack before it gets destroyed. Now, if you're on a 1v1, it's very easy to just throw the unk slightly behind the target like this. And I'll talk more about that later in the video, but it means that they're going to have less reaction time.
That was definitely one of the biggest things that I had to learn about when playing Moon Knight, is putting the unk behind the target instead of in front of the target. Because when you put it behind, one, they're not going to notice it, because this definitely happened to me before, where I've gone against a Moon Knight. Let's say I was playing Namor or maybe a tank. Gone against a Moon Knight. I'm like, why the fuck am I getting hit randomly? Maybe he's hitting me and it's bouncing off of other people. No, I turn around, there's a fucking unk right there. So that's fucking perfect, yeah.
To destroy it, which means you can get off the whole combo on a single player very easily. But if you're talking about a whole group, it's more likely they'll destroy the unk before you get off the combo. Yeah. So we have the group buster combo, which is very similar. With this combo, you're just putting the secondary attack first so that you get that extra bit of bursty damage before your unk gets destroyed, and then following it with 2 primary attacks. So it would look like this.
That's still pretty slow compared to the first one, but I get it. Like, let's say if there's a group, let's say we've got Penny, Doctor Strange, Luna Snow, Winter Soldier, and maybe who else? Let's go with fucking Spider Man. If they're in a group pushing the front line, and you throw the Ankh down behind them, let's say it gets through, you throw it behind them, you go Moonblade, then your regular daggers, and then yeah, okay, I see what
Down rotations for Moon Knight, I think this is quite important. There are a couple of really important things to realize. Firstly, the cooldown for the Ankh is 12 seconds, whereas the secondary attack is 6 seconds. So you always want to pair your Ankh with the right click. You always want to do that. You always want to pair the Ankh with your secondary attack. You never want to put this down without following it up with this and one of the combos that I've just talked about, because you're missing out on a lot of damage. So,
yeah.
Because
That is something I do know. What's crazy is I was watching another guy while I was playing the game back in season 0. I was watching another guy do it, and I was like, "What?" I did not know that you were able to actually fucking like be able to do that. So I was like, "Man, fucking, let me go ahead and try this shit in the game while playing fucking Moon Knight." I did it, bounce, 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 and it killed 2 people. I fucking lost it. Now the combos, I've definitely gotta fucking like learn about. The combos that he's showing right now is definitely something I gotta try in game.
Because the secondary attack has a shorter cooldown, you can basically get away with having a cooldown rotation like this. You'll throw your Ankh down, you'll do the combo, and then you've got just enough time to get another secondary attack down here, and then both of your cooldowns will mostly be ready to go together. But do not throw your Ankh until the secondary attack is ready again, and then you can hit the combo. Now, there's another really important thing you need to do before throwing your Ankh. Make sure to reload, because in a lot of times you might be spamming attacks, you got your Ankh ready
and
to
you
go.
don't notice that
and
you're
then
like
you're
damn
okay,
near
time to
out.
throw my Ankh down, and then, oops, I forgot, I need to reload, and you'll miss out on a lot of damage.
Alright, part 3.
Next, let's
Positioning
look
on
at Moon
placement.
Knight's positioning.
This is something that a lot of people told me about, which is Ankh placement. And I understand, guys. I know that I need to be placing the Ankh in better spots. You know, definitely behind people is one, but in tight corners where they're not going to be able to really see it is the biggest thing. I get it. I understand.
The secret to being a good Moon Knight player is finding the best angles on the whole enemy team and using his Ankhs to
Don't know why the fucking quality went down. Excuse me.
stack up tons of damage, farm your ultimate quickly, and destroy the team. The truth is about your Ankh is that it will get destroyed.
Yeah, that's
What
bad
you need to
Ankh
figure out
placement.
is how to keep it alive for just a second or 2 extra. So how do we do that? Well, it's actually quite simple. Always put the Ankh behind the direction players are facing. If it's in their vision, the moment it goes down, of course it will get destroyed quickly. But just enough behind them, or even just to the side, out of their vision, will mean
they're
they'll
not going to be able
need
to notice it.
physically turn to hit the Ankh, which will buy you the time you need to hit the combo I showed earlier. And doing this can mean you can even put it in stacks of teams, and the same reaction time will happen. As long as it's right at the back of the squad, it's going to be harder for them to get. Sometimes you can find sneaky angles to hide your Ankh, but honestly, instead of focusing on that too much, learning how to get the most of it in plain sight is often the best, and it really is as simple as throwing it just behind players, and with some practice, it's really quite easy to do. The best way to do it is on high ground. The higher you are above the enemies, the wider view you get of the area below, and the more accurate your Ankh is going to be when you throw it out, which gives you the best angles you can possibly get to get the Ankh down. Playing on high ground with Moon Knight is easy too. His abilities let you get up there easily. But there are 2 things to consider: flankers and your healers. If your healers can't get line of sight of you, or they're too lazy to look up at the sky, it does happen sometimes, in this case, you'll need to be extra careful. And honestly, some games it just won't be possible without your healer's help. And in that case, it's better just to be on the ground with your squad, and you can still play Moon Knight here with good results. The second issue is flankers. Playing on height won't make you immune to Spider-Man, Black Panther, Iron Man, or even Psylocke. So to counter that, always place one Ankh by your feet on height that you can use if a player pushes you, and all you need to do is grapple at the ground and it will send you immediately up into the air as a great escape tool. So when it comes to positioning with Moon Knight, try the high ground first. If it isn't working, go to the rest of your team.
All right, part 4, master the
One
ultimate
of
and
the
get more
best ways
kills.
to play Moon
Now, this is very important. I've already done this. I've already mastered it. What you're gonna want to do, I already know he's gonna explain it. When they're all grouped up, you're gonna want to hit your ult. The biggest mistake that I'm seeing with a lot of people who play Moon Knight is that they are just hitting it without having everyone to be gathered. Especially when they're on the point and they're gathered together is the best possible spot because they don't want to leave the point and lose the game and lose that progress, especially when it's like this. You see it just like this. They are completely out of time. They have to push the point. If they don't push the point, the overtime will go like that. It'll close as quick as hell. So they don't want to leave it. They want to stay on it. Even when they have enough time. Let's say they have a minute and 30 seconds left. Do you honestly think people who have a minute and 30 seconds left want to get off the point? Now, again, it's not going to happen every single time. You do have to understand where to hit it and where not to hit it. I've definitely hit it at certain points where I feel very pinched. And there is a lot of players, and if they end up walking into it because they do not know, then that also happens. But regardless,
Knight is to farm damage to get your ultimate and
he's about to show
spam
you.
it
It's
to win games.
right there.
It's really
That
easy
is
to do.
the perfect fucking example of what you should do when you're playing Moon Knight. That is the perfect fucking example right there. You see how they were. Well, let's go back. It's the
Farm
perfect
damage
example.
to get your ultimate and spam it to win games.
He places it. First of all, great backlining. Second of all, great onk placement. Third of all, perfect ult. That's a triple right there. Everybody's on the point. They're all worrying about the front line. On their perspective, they're worrying about the front line. They didn't notice that Moon Knight came in the back, placed down his onk, hit the onk, hit his ult, boom. Survey says,
It's really easy to do now, actually.
and he got 4 kills off of that. It's not that fucking hard. I'm telling y'all just have to understand when to hit it and when not to hit it. I've already have a clear understanding of this.
Just
Because I never just use it on one singular person. I've seen it so many times that people just use it on one person because they're just pissing them off so badly. You don't know how to play Moon Knight because it's just one person. You shouldn't do that. When they're all grouped up, when you got your onk, boom, Moonblade, hit it, do the combo. Oh, done.
basic attack at the tanks and see it bounce around to get insanely fast ultimate charge. But how do you actually get more kills with the ultimate? Well, like most of Moon Knight's playstyle, it's actually quite simple. Be patient,
It is.
wait for the team to be clumped together, and then place your ultimate and immediately place your Ankh to knock them up. With
I couldn't said it better myself. I could not have said it better myself.
the newly buffed ultimate, the enemies won't have enough time to react and you'll often get a lot of kills like this. Just note that you can press the ultimate button and then you've got one more button to confirm where you want to place it. So activating your ult first and carefully positioning it and being patient in this moment can ensure you get the exact right location and time to activate the ult.
This is also another thing that I unironically do when I'm trying to place my ult. I know I'm getting hit at, right? I tend to panic, so it makes me like panic click my ult. I mean, I'm already gonna place it down, but if my positioning is off because I'm panicking because I don't want to get hit, it tends to happen more than what y'all would think. But to fully complete out what I'm trying to say is just try not to panic in that instance is where you're getting hit.
You don't need to activate it as soon as you press the ult button. And also your positioning will determine the results as well. I always find the best results when I activate the ultimate whilst players don't see me. So taking flanking routes or height and waiting for the enemies to be focused, a great counter. Now that
When it's Moon Knight's ult is so fucking weird. It's okay, so if you guys don't know, if you guys didn't see the buffs and nerfs or whatever, Moon Knight has like one extra fucking thing for his ult. So instead of it being it's actually 4 extra. Sorry. So first it was 10, now it's 4. He has like an extra like meter of fucking length with something, I don't know, some extra curricular shit. But with, Reed and Sue coming in. Sue's ult is a fucking cylinder of invisibility. I've actually done this on stream as well. It was me and my boy. He always goes healer. So he was playing Sue, trying it out for the first time. I always went Moon Knight. He put down his ult. I said, all right, I'm going to use my ult, try to get all of them together. Placed down my ult. Did not know if it fucking gathered them. Did it. The moon rises, and I got 1, 2, 3, 4. Another guy was weak. 5. Oh my God. I was freaking the fuck out. It does so well. Now, I've never tried it with Doctor Strange, but I have tried it with Groot. And Groot, oof, that is a devastating combo. Because Groot gets enough people together, oh, brother.
We've learned the main pillars of how to Moon Knight. It's time to learn how to think like Moon Knight. I'll be breaking down a recent ranked Moon
Holy
Knight game
shit! 37, 3, and 0. We're not going to talk about the fucking Hawkeye. Fuck Hawkeye. I can't say that. Is this his team that he plays with? This is a stacked fucking squad right now. 39, 5, and 1. That's great for a tank. 3 DPSs, 2 healers, and 1 tank. He had 25K. A Hawkeye had 26K. That's insane.
had explaining the thoughts you need to have, the positioning you need to have, and the live sort of overview you need to have to be able to play Moon Knight effectively. You're going to see some familiar themes from earlier in the video, but you'll also see some new stuff that I wasn't able to show you throughout the start that can only really be explained through pure gameplay. So we're going to be on the attacking side here. What I'm going to do as we go into this, I will pause it from time to time to explain different things. But what's important here is understanding that there are almost two states of play for Moon Knight. You're either building your ult by farming damage, or you're using your combos to try and strike kills, whether it's on the backline to kill healers or to kill divers. So keep that in mind. We're either focusing on building damage or trying to get kills, depending on what cooldowns are available. So as we play, I'm going to try and break down everything as we go. We move up onto the left side here. This gives us some height. And I like to play control of this.
Okay, I will say this one thing. Do not, and for the love of fucking God, if you guys are trying to play Moon Knight, do not shoot it at the wall. You can to get some directional distance or just to rotate, but it is so much better to shoot it at the ground, get the extra air time, and then use your double jump to then fly around. And then when you fly around, when you're gliding, you could literally glide and change directions. It's better. Me personally, I like that. That's how I play Moon Knight, but people play him differently. I'm just saying.
This area. Now, what I'd usually do in this space is this space right here in the right side where my cursor is. That's usually where a player may hold. So my goal first
That is true.
is to take control of this space by putting damage on, making sure that whoever's there drops down. Luckily, there's nobody here yet. So look at what my next play is. I'm waiting for my jump to be on cooldown, and then I go for my first attack because my cooldowns are available. So I try and throw my Ankh into the backline and try and get a kill. Don't get the kill, but I put enough damage that pushes back the healers and distracts them.
Look
Now
how
I have
much damage he's racking up just by hitting.
this angle to deal damage. I'm farming damage. I'm waiting for my Ankh cooldown. Now that it's available, I'm going to move over here and reposition with some pretty bad movement there. Messed it up, no problem. And now we're looking to try and find an Ankh into the backline again.
Nice.
More damage, and we almost get the kill on Lunar Snow. So we've already put a lot of pressure on the support to just help my team push up. Now that our Ankh is on cooldown again.
Okay, this is something that I do not do with Moon Knight. I don't play high ground. Now I'm gonna have to start playing high ground when I play Moon Knight.
Again, farming damage. Now we're gonna wait for an opportunity. So it's like once you have your cooldowns, you do the combo, and when you don't have the combo, you farm damage to build it up. And there we go. We got the first ult of the game. We pop it down, get a couple kills there, and then we move up. So that's pretty.
That's something that you don't have to do it like how he did it, But that is a great way to push people back because they don't want to go in front of that. They don't want to be nowhere near it. It's the same with like Wanda's ult. You ever seen Wanda's ult? It's the pure chaos. If you can, depending on who you're playing with, you can definitely knock her out of the sky and you can completely cancel her ult. But that's still the most terrifying thing. Depending on who you're playing as, you cannot fucking dodge that shit. It's so hard to dodge it. I wouldn't say it's hard. It's difficult to dodge it if you do not know what you're doing.
Putting pressure on with the team, put as much damage down as we can go, being forwards because those players are very low. Now, this is a very interesting point here that I want to talk about. I'm going to go and flank these two players because I know that they are low and they're going to try and retreat. So this puts us in a situation to make sure that we get these fleeing players here. And I'm just looking on the left side to make sure that any respawn players haven't pushed down. This is really important because if I now go and fight this team, my back is going to be exposed from this side. So I need to make sure that this place is clear and then go in and just secure those 2 kills. So we knew they were running away. And now it's pretty much just a case of getting back to our spot with our team. We don't want to take that fight. It's a bad position for us. Just got to get back to our team and reposition. So I like to take the spot up on height here. I see a Star-Lord.
I never thought about that. I always just push front line, and I'm going to try that now. I've definitely seen fellow Moon Knight players do the same exact shit. Now I'm going to have to go ahead and try it.
And I try to get my Onk down and mess it up there. So now I push back, and we just got to plate this horror because my cooldowns are now not available, so we're just farming damage again. Groot ult comes down on the enemy team, Invisible Woman, Spider ult. So a lot of ults have gone down now. So I know that I can farm my ult up and I'm going to have a really good opportunity to use my ultimate in a minute. Now, I started to notice something at this point. The Star-Lord keeps pushing us in the back, which usually suggests he's got his ult ready and he's looking for a pick. So I had to make sure that we cleared our backlines first. A good example of how you can use your attack combo to shut down flankers. So at this point, it's just a chance of building up our ult. We want to try and get our ult down and just push up the objective like normal. Main goal here is just to try and use our ultimate before the healer's ult comes back. That's the goal. As Invisible Woman's ultimate is down. Getting a lot of pressure on from the enemy team, so I'm just holding this angle, dealing damage, everything that I can. Now, at this point, I'm rotating because I've got my ult, right? I've almost got my ult. So I'm now trying to set myself up in a position where we can actually use it effectively. Managed to get some kills there, and I realized, at this point, I don't actually need to use my ult.
Right.
I think it's important. Like, I know that you can get your ultimate quickly, but it's good to save it. So I'm holding this point. I'm kind of waiting for the spawns to see if there's an opportunity for me to put my ult down here. This is good because I've got my ult combo. If I don't use my ult, I could still maybe get a kill with that. We're waiting to see what opportunities there are. I'm seeing a few players here, so I'm going to use my grapple to get in the air. Actually, use a double jump there. Put my ult down. Fortunately, it did not go well. The group jumped out, and the Moon Knight used his grapple out as well. So not the best ult use, but at least I tried to make it work. I was trying to be patient. Could have waited for a bit longer there. A couple players, you want to try and get more in the radius if you can. A couple is not as great. So now we got that on combo again, and you're going to see it's the same sort of thing. We're just farming damage, waiting for our Onk to go on cooldown, throwing that down to try and damage the backline. Rinse and repeat. So now here we go. Jump up in the air to get an angle in the backline there. So you can use your double jump and your grapple to get height. Remember in the tips part of the video, we talked about having height, giving us a better view to get more accurate Onk placements. Well, if we can't get height, we can just jump into the air with our grapple. See a good angle there. Managed to get a kill. The Groot's ult comes down. The Lunar Snow ult comes down. This is a chance to just farm up.
Yep.
You put it down.
That's perfect.
That was a very impatient ult there. I should have waited. My placement.
No, I would say, the placement was kind of off, but I would say that is pretty fucking good. Now, if Luna didn't use her ult, you definitely had it. I'd say you definitely had it.
So unfortunately, I didn't get anything out of that ult. One thing that I could suggest from learning from some of my mistakes in this game is your ult placement can change everything. From like just a couple inches to the left or right, it can make a massive difference. So once you've clicked the ultimate button, just try and position it first, and don't try and rush it. I've learned that a lot, that if you try and just rush placing it, you're just gonna miss. It's really worth waiting. There's a couple extra milliseconds, just reposition it perfectly. So we pretty much won at this point, so we're just putting more pressure on. There's not really much else to say because our team is doing a pretty good job. It's quite impressive. We did not die a single time this match, so we managed to stay alive, and basically all we did was farm damage and then use our ult combo when needed. And then they don't really have a chance, you know. We're putting so much pressure on them that we do manage to get the win there. Whilst this game does go on for quite a few more rounds, I think it's important to say that I'm not going to go and watch more, because we've got the most important lessons. I don't want to drag it on for too long. If you want to see another tips video for another
That's pretty dope. Well, if you guys enjoy this video, please go ahead and do me a massive favor. Please go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Murakami clan today. Shout out to Marvel Rivals Merchant, who is also, if you guys didn't know, the gaming merchant who does a lot of Apex content. So shout out to him. Always love his videos. Always a great fucking guy to get a lot of Apex tips from. Now he's doing Marvel Rivals tips, which is super fucking dope. But with that being said, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.